right, people, how are you? Excited to be here. What a joy for us to be back on the, Talk with the Missus set. I hope you have had a good week so far.
Yes.
Today's Thursday. So the week, when it gets to Thursday, the week.
It's winding down. Your mind is on many things.
Well, we are glad that you are live with us. We believe that this is going to be really, really refreshing. And so we want you to, just get yourself set. We're going to be having a really, really blessed time of discussion today. By the way, tell us where you are joining from. I'm going to let the missus greet you and then obviously tell you what to do before we start the conversation. Tonight's going to be interesting.
Tonight is going to be so interesting, and it's even more interesting because you are here with us.
Yes.
So thank you for joining in. As always, let us know where you're tuning in from, and put your name on the comments, and let us know the nation that you're in, and let us give a shout out to you because we're live. This is a conversation that we have with you, and to discuss everyday things on a practical way and with a godly mindset.
Exactly.
Very, very important. So as always, let us know where you're tuning in from, and also do share this broadcast.
Yeah,
copy the link.
Should.
Send it to your friends, to your family, to those that that this conversation may be a blessing to. And you never know, it may just be the answer and the solution that they have been looking for. So please do that right now. And thank you for those that are on Instagram. God bless you from Abuja, Nigeria. God bless. God bless. Good to see you. Yes, hearts to you too.
God bless you.
So so we are.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of familiar names on Instagram.
Oh, fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And someone's calling. Oh, yeah, I don't want to mention the name. All right. Great, people. Nice to have you on board. Today, we are going to have an interesting conversation. And our topic is talking with the missus. Talking with the missus. We would love to hear from a lot of the ladies. So start thinking about it as we give a shout out to all the people that are online watching.
Yes.
We've got hello everyone watching from Leeds, and that's AE initials.
Lovely.
Finesse, a great God.
yes, he is a great God indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got
Hazel Redwood. She says it's been a while watching from Jamaica.
All the way from Jamaica.
Oh, I wish I had Jamaica right now.
Interesting.
Some nice rice and peas. Yeah.
And then we've got Anton, who said, good evening, lovely couples joining from Hounslow.
Fantastic. Good to have you, Anton.
You want to go through the others?
Yeah, we got Sarah from Vienna. Good to have you with us, Sarah. Says good evening, Pastor and Mrs. We've got Idola Lady. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too. Right. And we've got Sean Johnson. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. watching from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, lovely.
Yes,
lovely.
I'm mapping out from Fort Lauderdale, from Miami. I can then go quickly to Jamaica and then come back.
Okay, you may want to add Grenada.
Oh, yes, I need to add Grenada to see Sister Blanche. God bless you, Sister Blanche. Good to have you on board.
And then you can come back to London.
I can come back to London, go back to the ends. Yeah. To chill out with Happy in Edmonton. So I'm loving my map, guys. This is really nice.
All right. So today we want to discuss, talking with the missus.
Yeah.
And we know that communication is very important in every relationship.
Yes.
Communication is super important in every relationship.
Yeah.
I want to just begin by looking at, I think maybe let me just start from the deep end.
Okay.
Really.
Let's go.
For a lady.
Yes.
If the guy is upset, your husband or your fiance, is upset.
Yes.
Is it better that he he walks away. When I say walk away, just
leave the conversation.
Leave the conversation, take a breather. Or is it better? Because, you know, ladies say, you know, talk to me. Is it better that he walks away, or is it better that he talks to you as the lady at that point?
Well, I think,
and this is open to everyone, please. We'd like you to comment, but those of you on Instagram, those of you on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah.
I think to be honest, to be frankly honest, is nicer for the woman to hear him talk, but in terms of better for the relationship, is better that he walks away, because he may say something that he did not mean, or he did not intend to say, or just out of annoyance or anger. It may even turn physical. It depends on what's on ground, what are they actually discussing, what's going on. So it's having that understanding of himself, and also the wife also having that understanding that, look, this is not the best time for this. This is boiling point. We're literally just jumped into a boiling kettle, and it's better for us to jump out so that let the kettle cool down, and then we can pour out everything we want to say. We can then talk and discuss it. But if we want to, I'm spitting. If we want to talk about it, he's spitting. If we want to talk about it, it's gonna spit out. It's gonna spill out in a way that you didn't want it to happen, and you didn't want to say it in that way. It may be something that you wanted to say, but in that kind of way, in that kind of rude, obnoxious, arrogant, uncaring, unkind kind of way, you probably didn't intend it. So it's important to understand your emotions and to walk away when you're getting to your limit, so that you don't spill over. Yeah,
but then you have a situation. I agree with what you're saying, but then you have a situation where, you know, a man could be walking away from maybe it's not even heated yet. Maybe he's just upset about something.
Not even to do with her, just upset.
No, it's got to do with her. And then the lady can tell, that he's upset, but he's not saying anything.
Yeah.
And for a lady, you know, because I've dealt with situations where, you know, you have the lady, he's not saying anything, he needs to say something. And some ladies would even come on you and say, you have to speak to me. You know, you have to talk to me. You have to. So, you know, I mean, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? What is the right action that he should be taking in that regards? Because communication is important. But maybe the next question I should be asking is, do we really want honest communications? Yeah,
but is there an alternative to him walking away and still communicating? Is there a gap that we've not seen that he could actually be doing? You know, can he say, babe, you know what? I know we need to talk about this, but let's talk about it another time. Is that not something that's doable? Is it just he's hearing her talk and huffing and puffing and walks off? Is that really... Could he not communicate that I want to talk to you, but not now? Can he not? Is there not a way to do that?
Well, I mean, you for some people, it depends on the emotion of the individual. Because for some people, opening their mouth at all, you know,
problem.
Exactly. You know, opening their mouth at all could just scatter the whole place. And then also your weighing is in a situation where you're thinking, do you really want to hear the truth? Because that's another thing. And this is not just in husband and wife relationship. This is even in friendships. This is even in church. In a church, and a pastor wanting to speak to you, or a leader in your department, or just generally in school. You know, do people really want to hear the truth? Because, you know, we want communication, but do they really want to hear the truth? And so sometimes you have a situation where a man feels let me walk away. Or it could be a woman, walk away, but women will talk more anyway, generally.
As they're walking, they're talking.
Exactly.
Even if they're walking away, you say, they're walking and talking. Oh dear.
Yeah. So, what is the drop point? Let's read some comment. I think we've got something from Sarah.
Okay.
Do you want to read that?
Yeah, but still shout outs. Hazel says you can come anytime. That's coming to Jamaica. Yes, please.
Okay.
And then Mr. and Mrs. Uwadi watching from South London. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. All right. So we've got this comment from Sarah. She says, I think he can walk away respectfully. He should just say something like, I'm going to walk away a bit to cool down, but it does not mean that I'm ignoring you. Exactly. Just like acknowledge it. Yeah. I just don't want to say something that might hurt you. Oh, even that it should melt her heart if she's hearing something like that, then it is very painful for your partner to walk away from you mid conversation, but excuses himself. It might even cause the woman to rethink the issue on a more positive light. Okay, but if he excuses himself, yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so basically, it's better to walk away from what she's saying. It's better to walk away, but make a comment.
Yeah,
make
a comment like, look, I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, but pray that your spirit is really under control, because it's no. The spirit is under control, because there are some people, who they struggle with controlling what comes out of their mouth. Yeah. And so for them, it is, I agree with what she's saying. Yeah. I do agree. But I'm just looking at people who, once they open their mouth, that's it. Okay. They're almost not even in control of what is coming out of their mouth. Once their mouth is open, it is,
fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks. And then that can become a very big problem. But also, I think that communication in a relationship is important. As we have said, can a couple make progress if they don't communicate with each other?
What? Can they make progress together?
Yes.
As their lifestyle or their marital lifestyle is not to communicate with each other. Well,
they're married, but they don't really talk about things.
So what are they doing then?
Yeah. Okay. I'll read something from Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pastor, he said, communication is really important in relationships, sir. Thank you for that. Then he asked, what if walking away is wrongly interpreted?
Yeah, that's where I was saying, that he sees it as walking away is now rude, but it's trying to make sure that you negate that potential issue, it's like mitigating the circumstances. Like, I'm not walking away from you. I know this conversation is important, but I just feel that we need to talk about this at another time. Okay,
and that other time doesn't have to be that day.
No, it doesn't have to be that day.
Doesn't have to be that week.
It has to be that year. If you're going that way, it has to be this year. Do you know what I mean? It has to be this month.
But wait, let's also probably look at it this way. Yeah. Are there some things that in a relationship that may come up that they are better not discussed than discussed?
Listen, nothing should be too hard to discuss.
Okay.
That's what I personally think. It may be hard to bring up the conversation, but it's easier once you bring up that conversation and discuss it. But it takes the maturity of the two people involved.
Okay, so let's take for instance, a woman is married to a man, yeah?
Yeah.
And then she suddenly starts having a dream, which she interprets as the husband's mother being a witch. And the husband, because this is a practical thing.
Yeah.
And the husband is very close to the mother. Should she now go and be discussing with the husband that your mother is a witch?
Listen, I think, she shouldn't discuss it in that way.
Okay.
Yes, she should discuss the dreams, No, she shouldn't now start attacking and concluding that the mother is actually a witch.
Okay.
Yeah, because the devil can send confusion even in people's dreams.
Yeah.
It can now put enmity between you and your mother-in-law because he knows that he's trying to achieve something there. Scatter your in-law relationship, scatter even your marital relationship. There's a way that a wise woman or a wise wife would approach such a dream that she will not cause contention within her home. It's a dream. It's not a reality. You deal with it, and in a mature kind of way. That, babe, I don't know what's going on. Firstly, she should pray. Yeah. After all the prayer and everything that she's doing by herself, now we're talking about when she's now bringing it in a communication kind of platform.
Yeah.
When she's now doing that, babe, I don't know what's going on, but I keep having these dreams, or I've had this dream once, and I just feel that the enemy is trying to attack the unity of our home. Come, let's pray. See the dream that I had. Let's pray that whatever familiar spirit or whatever that the enemy is trying to bring enmity between us, that it will now break. When she's now having that prayer, on herself, and she's approaching her husband in that kind of light, her husband will not be looking at her like, oh, this woman, she's come again. She's trying to do something, say evil or bad things about my mother. Because a wife should never really try and come between her husband and his mother. She was like his first love kind of thing. Yeah. There's no comfort that a mother will not give to a son. So don't even try to, compete. It's not a thing that you're trying to replace it, but it's another layer. You've now entered on another more intimate layer. So let him have his relationship with the mom, and you have your own relationship with him. But don't now try and say, I knew it. It's coming from your mother all this time. She's a witch. This one, that one. Where's that going to end? So it's the wisdom that a wife would have to know this conversation, these words that I want to say, where is it going to go? How is it going to be received? What is it going to achieve? 5 years, 10 years down the line, how is it going to be affect those years down the line? How is it going to affect our communication and our life even now? When we go to sleep, would we be able to cuddle, or everybody's looking north and south? Everybody being west and east. Everyone is angry. So you've got to understand, what is it I'm saying and why, and how is it going to affect me? She should have, if you was to go into a negotiation, into a meeting, there's a way that you would, in your mind, program, this is how I want this conversation to go.
Yeah.
This is my end game. This is how I want these people to react and how I want them to be on my side. So even in that same way, that's in like business terms, but even in marriage and in your home, you should have a way that this conversation that I'm about to have, where do I want it to go? How is it going to affect me and be conducive for me in my marital home in the next 5 minutes? Do you understand? Is it going to cause arguments? Our voice is going to be raised, or is something that we're going to consider, think on, pray on, now be a prayer point? Do you understand? So I think is the wisdom of the wife in that kind of scenario to be able to bring up the conversation, but don't shy away from it. That's what I think. Don't shy away from it, but you bring it up with wisdom.
Okay, well, to that question, we have a few people online who are saying, like Ahis in Abuja said, no, sir, she should not.
Yeah. It says she shouldn't bring up the conversation. Well, sometimes your husband. But for me, I think you should bring
Sarah just said, very practical, Pastor Moses. No, she should not discuss such things with the man. She is still his mother, I beg. As the saying goes, everything is permissible, but not all things are beneficial. Wisdom is beneficial. No, but I like the way you said it.
Yeah.
The fact that you said, it may be that she can that the way she brings it, not in the way of accusing the mother, but also I get, from the perspective of what some of the people online are saying, there are sometimes no matter
no-go areas.
Yes, no matter how refined it is, you present a thing, a seed may already be sown in the person's heart that you are pointing negative fingers against their mother in this case.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then and the devil is so tricky that the devil can then amplify that and use it. So I think, in one way we'll say, we should talk about everything, but not all things are to be said.
Well, I think it's probably a timing thing as well.
Yeah, and then the relationship that exists between the couple, because they should know themselves.
Yeah.
There are some people who are hot blood. There are some people who are understanding. There are some people who are not understanding. They are it takes so much to be able to get them to understand where you are coming from.
Yeah.
So if you have a husband or a wife who that when you put something down, their first thought is from a negative perspective. Yeah, there are some people like that. They are very pessimistic. They can't help themselves. Anything you put down, the first thing they think of is like, for example, if a phone is misplaced, and somebody says, I'm looking for my phone. The first thing they're thinking of is somebody has stolen the phone. They're not thinking that the phone may have been misplaced. Maybe you just dropped it somewhere. So, I said it. Somebody must have stolen this phone.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that's the way they're wired.
Yeah.
They approach life from the negative angle.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody like that, then you obviously knowing the person that you have, you know that they are setting this conversation, no matter how refined it is, when I present it, this is the way this person is still going to perceive it. And it's going to take a lot to be able to get them to understand where I'm coming from.
But would we say in those kind of scenarios, it's better to be quiet on those things? And then could you now say, in that being quiet to save your home, or to save the joy and the peace and the tranquility of your home, is it now seen as you're hiding things? Can we say that? I just want to know. I'm just
well. No. I think what you said is important, because at the end of the day, you ask yourself, okay, what because if you start from there, what else would you not be discussing? Would you not be bringing up discussion? I think for a couple, it is important that a couple, they are completely transparent with each other. But I think you have to be able to understand the spouse that you have.
Yeah.
You have to be able to understand the spouse that you have. And your understanding of the person who is your spouse helps you to know. There are some people who say, I can't deal with this person.
Yeah.
And then you find some people who can relate with everybody. And you wonder, how are they able to? It's just because they have come to have an understanding of the different people and know how to relate with A, different from how to relate with B, and different from how to relate with C. So I think having an understanding of your husband or your wife is very important. And sometimes there are a lot of people in relationships where they don't really have that understanding about, the person that they are with. And obviously that then creates problems.
Yeah.
That it becomes difficult to solve. So I think we have to weigh our words. And, you have to also weigh, like you said, what impact is this going to have on our relationship? Because you can say something today, that means that you do not enjoy your marriage for the next 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Some people can make a statement today, that means at the end of the day, you'll be wishing to rewind back to pry that pre that conversation. But then it's difficult for you to, because the person is always bringing you there. The person is not able, because there are some people who don't also have quote unquote the grace to move past things.
Yeah, but that's a problem too.
Yeah.
That's a problem too, because nobody is perfect. Nobody has not done anything that's bad. Even they themselves are not perfect. God had to forgive them from something.
Yeah.
So why can't they now forgive their spouse from whatever this quote unquote terrible whatever?
No, it doesn't justify their character or justify their actions, but if you know that that's who they are, and whilst you are praying and waiting for God to change them, and God has not changed them yet, you want to enjoy your life.
It's a process, and you're in the interim.
Exactly. On Instagram, we have he said, if the spouse is difficult to understand, don't disclose it immediately. Exactly. He said, also be mindful of the time to let it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They really come home angry.
Yeah. Then you come to morning devotion. Say, let us pray. Let's send fire. Any mother-in-law that is troubling us, Holy Ghost fire.
Let's
there was a movie.
Let's use your mother as a point of contact.
There's a movie you told me about that I watched. I've not even finished it. That there was a point. Is this couple, they're married, and they are believing for children. And then they've done everything. They've done IVF and all of that. The man is a godly man. I've been very supportive of the wife. And then one day, the man arrives home, meets the wife. The wife's mother brought a lady as a prophetess to come and pray. And the prayer point the lady was raising is every
family.
No, it was about husband.
Every husband's family or something.
No, it wasn't family. It's every is it demonic husband? Something about husband. Fire. Meanwhile, the man came in when he saw they were praying. He went to the room to get his Bible. If he can come and join it. Then he came and met that prayer point. So it's so I think the wisdom
is needed.
Wisdom is needed in those scenarios. There are people that you can have difficult conversations with. And they can move past it. They can move past it. They can understand and move past it. And some will try to help you understand that no, what you're seeing may not be this. I know you interpret it this way, blah, 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 blah. But there are some that is the end of your marriage. No, it's true. Marriage. Oh, yeah. Oh. There's some that would be the end of your marriage because.
But then that means that if I'm seeing this thing in such a negative way, meanwhile, I want communication I want communication in my marriage, but the communication is hurting my heart, then possibly or most likely there's a problem with me. There's a problem with me. I can't take being told the truth, whether it's a good truth or a bad truth. Why can't I take it? Why can't I?
But how do you know that is the truth? Because it may not be the truth. Because you're coming.
Conspiracy, no. It's lying.
Because you're coming with a dream. And we know that dreams, God could be revealing something to you. The devil also could be revealing, can be revealing something to you in your dream to confuse you. And the devil has intention to destroy your home. And you have taken that as a gospel truth.
Oh God!
And you have refused to move past it. That you have now come to present it to your husband or to your wife, and you believe it as a gospel truth. And they themselves, are hurt by the fact that you believe this thing as a gospel truth. It can become a problem.
It's a big problem.
So you have to have the wisdom of one, knowing the person that you are with, and knowing how to communicate. But when it comes to communicate, and I asked a question earlier, and in that question, I was saying, can people, maybe before I go back to it, let's read the bit of this. We've got Sarah said, it's a very delicate situation. I think in this way, the best thing to do is pray that God reveals to the man whatever his mother is.
There we go.
Yeah. So if she's anything, then let God reveal it to him. And God, if God is faithful.
Yes.
Yeah, he's faithful. And if it's really something that he wants you dealing with as a family, then he's going to bring it up. But if you know your husband well, like you said, you can approach it from the perspective of, I don't know, I've been having certain kind of dreams.
Yeah.
You know, I know that the devil uses people's faces and all of that, and sometimes to try and destroy relationship. And you can present that.
Yeah.
And some men, you know, or some women, it will, they understand that, and then they can run with you. But if you know that you don't have an understanding man or an understanding woman, then there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I ask a question. Can a couple make progress, you know, if they don't really communicate? And I think there are a lot of answers of no. So when it comes to communication,
what is communication?
Yeah,
what's effective communication?
Yeah, what's effective communication between couples?
Yeah.
You
between
know,
a husband
because I think that there is, I would just, while people are typing, I would just want to say this. I think there's a difference between talking with somebody and talking to somebody.
Simple.
There's a difference between that. And I think when it comes to communication, I'm not a woman, but I believe that most women want you to talk with them.
Yeah.
And some men, because you hear situations like, oh, when I keep quiet now, you say I'm not talking. Then when I talk, you are upset.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think some men who talk, they talk to as opposed to talking with. And when you are talking to somebody, it's almost like you are talking to the person as though they are your subordinate. They are
your child.
Yes, they are your child. So if you are talking to somebody from that perspective, then there will still be problem, because what the person really desires is for you to talk with them.
Exactly.
And not just to talk to them to say, I'm telling you now, this is what we are going to do.
Yeah, there's a big difference with this is what we're going to do. You do this, you do this, you do this.
Yeah.
And guys, I'd really love for us to do this. What do you think?
What do you think? Yeah. And then they can share their opinion. You may still arrive at doing what you want done.
Yeah.
But you have been wise.
Carry them along.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not to just be that you are talking to them. You know, I told you this and I told you that and I told you this and I told you that, but you're not talking with them to get them to also share their view on the conversation, you know, make their own recommendations or their own suggestions. Yeah. And then sometimes it may mean that, you know, the opinion you came out with initially is thrown away.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be humble enough to understand that, because ultimately, if what you want is the progress of the family, the advancement of the home, then when you put something down that needs to be done and someone comes up with a superior, that's another thing too. There are some people
about to go there. Go on.
Yeah. If some because
it didn't come from you.
Somebody came up with a superior
very clear
perspective. He said no, let's do the one I said we'll do. That's the one we will do.
And it's very clear that their own idea or something is actually better.
Yeah,
it's improved the initial one that you came up with, but because it didn't come from you, no, we can't do that one. What I said before is the one that we'll do. And you'll be butting your heads to do that one, and it will not go well. Meanwhile, if you've done the other one, or when you now finally do the other one, it goes better. What was the point of that exercise? You know, it's not beneficial for anyone. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you, and then I'm reading some of the comments. Okay. On Instagram, we have, it said, if the seed is from the devil and you run with it, you will see the result of it. Yeah. So that's talking about the dream. we're talking about earlier. Say there are some things we can personally pray and handle instead of it destroying the home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then I think Sarah said, I think in this case, the woman should ask herself, what if I was in his shoes? What if my husband came to me and said he dreamt my mother was a witch? It is always good to put oneself in the other person's shoes. Yeah, you probably also need to ask yourself. Yeah, not probably. I think you definitely do need to ask yourself, how would I react if the tables were turned and this person was coming to me and saying to me that they've dreamt and my mother is definitely a witch, because they know their dreams. When they dream, their dreams are always true.
God always shows me. That's the way God speaks to me.
Exactly. So I think one has to be mindful. But then taking us back, coming back to the communication and talking with each other. So what are the practical ways? We talked about one of not talking to, but talking with, and then being willing to let go of your opinion if there is a superior one. But then let's say you just come home. Let's say it's not something serious. It's not something that we need to do. We're just home chilling with your wife, or you are busy with laptop and your wife is there. What is the expectation of a woman?
She wants you to be around her.
No, you're around.
On laptop is not around. Around on laptop and doing your own thing in one corner. Yeah. That's not being around her. It's like paying attention. I can be here and I'm doing my own thing, doing my own thing. Yeah. I paid you no attention.
Okay.
None.
So what is the expectation? What's the expectation of a woman?
Is the attention, the touching, the looking, the talking with, the finding out.
So just think of anything to talk about.
Anything.
Doesn't have to make sense. Just
doesn't make sense. Yeah. What's this? No, actually, not criticizing. I was gonna say, what's this? But before you now say, the only time he wanted to touch my face is when it was
to point at a spot.
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know, just discussing and talking and touching and all those things, because life doesn't have to be so difficult, that you go out, nobody's paying you attention, you come home, nobody's paying you attention. It's frustrating. So let there be the companion. You enter into a marriage for companionship. Companion. I need you as a companion. You need to be around me. You need to be showering me with your time and your attention. So
whilst you are saying that, I get what you are saying. What I'm thinking in my head is, because in my conversations with ladies, especially single ladies who are looking to get married, sometimes when they describe to you the kind of man that they want, you're thinking, let's say somebody, you want a man that is hardworking. Hardworking means that he has to be going out.
He will not have time for you.
Hardworking, high achiever.
Not have time for you.
At the same time, there with you to compliment you, to talk, to watch movies, to clean the house. So is it possible to be able to get
one person
all those things together? That
one person,
is a hardworking man, high achiever, top of the achievers list, but at the same time he's there, always there. Yeah, that word, always there. Conversation, chilling out, helping out, with things in the house, children. By the time you describe that man,
I think you have to be realistic.
Is it possible to be able to
have one person?
Yeah, have one person. It's almost like they have to become like omnipresent. Because for them to be hardworking outside,
but inside at the same
but
time.
also inside at the same time, to be there. So you'd have to, oh, look at this person's husband. It's always there. I see them together, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then, but he's not
a high achiever. That
so you know, how do you do that?
I think it's painting a more realistic image of who your husband is right now if you're married, or who your husband potentially could be if you're not married. It's painting a realistic image. If we were to ask the husband, what do you want the wife to be? And he now paints this picture, you would know of whoever this wife is, hardworking, cooks home food all the time, every day,
fresh food, not fridge.
Yeah, you know, really good attention to him, gives him, you know, on tap lovemaking as he wants it. In fact, he's the one that turns the tap off. She doesn't control anything there. So you now, as a woman, when you're now hearing all these long lists, you think, this guy is very ambitious. How can I be all of that at once? So is that same kind of, I think, like what Sarah was saying, put yourself in the other person's shoes and be realistic. One human being cannot be born to satisfy every part of your needs.
Yeah, because it's not
they're
God.
Not God.
Yeah, they're not God. Yeah, it's true. I think that's a key factor, to know that you're not going to have every part of your needs, satisfied by one human being.
Yeah.
No matter how much they love you, no matter how much they try, you're going to end up killing them. They're going to die trying to
nobody's going to
please you.
Well, I'm doing all of this to please you. We're meanwhile meant to even be pleasing God.
Yeah.
There's a way that you'll now become so distracted or so funnel or tunnel vision into trying to please one human being that you now be displeasing even God, the one that we are meant to please. So I think it's important to not put somebody on a high jump unnecessarily. There's things that they can achieve and things that they can do, fine. Accept those ones. If there's some areas or gaps that they can't, you know, maybe that's why you're there. Maybe those are things that you can work on together. Maybe that's not even a need that you thought you had, because sometimes when the person, okay, I want a man that is always at home. I want a man that is always cooking for me, or he's doing all the housework, or he's doing this, or he's doing that. After a while, you'd now be thinking, why is he doing this? So other people are out there making $1 million deals and all this. He's here hoovering and cooking and cleaning. What's that? Hold on, step back. Is this not what you said you wanted?
Yeah.
So sometimes the thing that you say you wanted is not actually what you want. So let's be honest and let's be sincere and not be putting people in boxes that you should meet this, you should meet that, you should meet this, because it may not actually be what you want or what you need. I think it's important, let's say in the trying to, you know whether this person is, the affection, the time, and all of that. Yeah. Yes, those are very important and vital for a healthy marital life, because no person is an island. Yeah. And then when you've come together, the two shall be one. You're not meant to be alone still. Yeah. So why are you still in one room typing away, and your wife or your husband is somewhere else? You're meant to be together.
So really, if you're a hardworking man who is very busy, and you have find a way, maybe you need to cut some things off your plate. Yeah, cut some things off. Cutting some things off may mean that if we were going to have 1 million, we're probably going to have 600 or 700, but then we'll be able to have quality time together. Yeah. I think it's just being able to.
I think there's a shift of priority that's needed.
It's being able to strike a balance to know that, we may not become the richest people in the world, but we're not begging, and we have a good relationship, as opposed to we're pursuing an outside dream, which does not allow us to have the time together. And then the person you're with, whether it's your wife or it's your husband, having that understanding and allowing you to, to pursue the dream, but not pursue it at the expense of the relationship in the home. Then that way you would have time and create time for yourself, where that you may know that, okay, in that field there may be other people who have achieved more than your husband, who have achieved more than your wife.
Start comparing them.
But don't start comparing them. Enjoy where you are, and enjoy, so that you can enjoy the relationship that you both have with each other. So that way you're able to actually spend time with each other. You're able to talk with each other and just talk about every and anything, and may just be discussing some random things.
Just talk.
Talk about trees. Oh, guess what happened today? I saw this person, the way they were laughing. It was just, ridiculous. I don't know how somebody can be laughing like that. It's just somebody to talk to. It doesn't really have to be serious, because again, some people, when they do communicate or talk,
only important matters.
So it's very official. So we need to talk. I want to talk to you tomorrow morning. I want to talk to you. So it's,
I can't even sleep thinking about that. Talk to me tomorrow morning. Oh my God, what did I do? Meanwhile, if something happens, you can easily just bring up, babe, that thing that you done, I didn't quite like it. Or I don't know, what did you mean by this? You're talking.
Exactly.
You're talking. Your concerns, your issues, your dislikes, you're communicating them in a way that is understood, and in a way that the person can learn from it, and you can move on. And it's not like everybody's having a cold war or a home war where things are getting thrown and tantrums are happening, but you're being able to deal with it. I think it's important.
I'm saying here, not using the other's vulnerability. So what's an effective communication? Not using the other's vulnerability as a tool to hurt. Otherwise, that may close the willingness to want to communicate willingly and readily and honestly.
Exactly. Just making a mockery of the person. And what's that you're saying? Oh, beg, leave me. Why are you shaking? Why are you just making a mockery
of that person? They
will not want to talk to you again.
It's true. And they'll go flourishing, shelter church, say yes, sir, correct. I think maybe they're referring to talking to and talking with.
Exactly.
Oh boy, our time is gone, It's almost 8.
It's almost 8, guys.
I think we need to give some final statements about communication. Talking to the missus.
Talking with the missus.
Talking with the missus. That's it.
Talk with the missus.
Talking with the missus.
I think you'll never really know how beneficial your missus is to you until you start communicating with her. There's a grace that God has given women, that they see things differently and they're able to
they can see things from afar. Sorry, I'm cutting it. Women sometimes can see things from afar. They can see what the man, they can see today what the man may only see tomorrow. I think
so
some women have that.
So it's important to be able to see that. I mean, Bible says he that finds a good wife obtains favor from the Lord. There's a favor that she possesses that you're meant to have. So you can only really have that once you've tapped into her, more than on an intimacy level, but on a communication level. Get every juice, that comes from her on a communication level out, and you'll be able to really flourish and enjoy your home and enjoy your marriage more. The atmosphere will be right because when a woman is she feels that she's valuable, she feels that her opinion matters, she feels that you have, put her on a pedestal, the atmosphere in the home is going to be amazing. Women are emotional beings. So the time that you're not communicating with her, because we need to communicate, so you're not giving her the avenue of communication, she is throwing tantrums, she's throwaway face, she's burning food, she's not making food, she's do it yourself, she don't care. This woman don't care. So so it's in you to ensure that the temperature is right by pleasing her through communicating with her. And then once you're communicating with her, the temperature will be right. There's a way. It says live with them with understanding. There's a way. Get the understanding so that you can enjoy this marriage. It's important. You didn't want to, all these years of being single, you now finally found somebody. Now
talk with them.
Yeah, talk with them.
Yeah.
You now finally found somebody. All this time you've been doing all this dating app, this one, that one, finding this person, looking at this person's picture, going out with this person, wondering, should I not? You've now passed that phase. You're now married. This is the person you should now invest in. All those talking, invest it in this person.
That's another thing. Some people are married and, they are not talking with the person that they are in the house with, but they're always on the phone or chat with people outside. It's a
misplaced priority.
Yeah.
Get your priorities right. If in case that potentially could be you, be honest, be sincere. Your life is your life. Live it so that you know that you're enjoying it and not enduring it.
Yeah.
There's a very big difference and a very massive experiential difference as well. Experience the good things, the good that God has for you. Experience those ones. There's some things that you need to do to be able to tap into the good. So do those ones. Also, how does it belittle you that you ask your wife's opinion? What? Is she not you? You're one. It's like you're asking your leg, do you want to move today? You just do the things that you need to do so you can get to where you want to get to. There's a unity that the two people working together brings, that God commands that blessing. There's some things that are not opening because you're not working together. So work together, communicate with each other, get to where you want to go to together, and enjoy your life. That's my few things that I wanted to say.
Well done. Well, so let's start talking with the people God has put in our life, especially our wives and our husbands. We're going to wrap up here. We want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channels. We have the FMC TV YouTube channel and, of course, the Pastor Moses GCF YouTube channel. Follow us on all our social media pages, and God bless you as you do that. Give a thumbs up on YouTube to this video as well. And tomorrow morning, we're back by 6 a.m. for the And Zion Prevail platform. Thank you ever so much for being part of today's conversation. You've joined us now. Now go and join your wife and join your husband.
Exactly.
In communication,
cuddling up, talking to each other.
Talk yourself to sleep.
Yeah.
Talk over a cup of tea.
Yeah, not on your phone. People do phones to sleep. They look, scroll, like, scroll. Then you now turn the phone off. You now turn.
Exactly.
What's that?
It's true. It does happen. It does happen. Start talking to each other. It's better you're falling asleep talking with each other than
So I just love it because I'm imagining, because I fall asleep. I'm usually the one that falls asleep, and then he'll just be looking at me like and then I'll now wake up. Oh, sorry, I fell asleep. I was so tired. Sorry. What was she saying? But let it be, fun memories, and you can imagine who falls asleep first.
It's well. All right, guys, we love you guys, and we will see you again. This is where we say
bye.